Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Stuff and Things Podcast. I am Sam. This week, episode 003. Our discussion topic is, does anyone hate Star Wars more than Star Wars fans? Well, I can tell you one thing, or one person Star Wars fans hate more than Star Wars, and that's my partner in crime, it's Stefan!
Hello there.
Hey buddy, you alright?
Hey, I thought I kind of had to start with the sentence that got me so much hate.
That wasn't what got you that much hate. That got you hate from official people.
Yeah.
But fans, not so much. So I think we should open with these stories. I think these are kind of the perfect segues into our discussion. First of all, Boba Fett.
Boba. Good old Boba. Yep.
Star Wars fans. I am a Star Wars fan.
Welcome
Stefan
back.
is a Star Wars fan, yeah. If you are listening to this and you are Star Wars fans, I hope you are Star Wars fans with a sense of humour. I hope you are Star Wars fans who are open to critique. And I hope that this isn't going to get clipped again and put all over some Reddit thing where I get death threats with people saying they're going to find me with hammers. Because that was a little bit crazy.
And why we have this entire episode.
This is like going to be therapy for me. So I love Star Wars and I've enjoyed it. And the thing is I enjoy it. And therefore, when Lucasfilm start giving us more and more Star Wars, I'm delighted. I'm like, oh, great. This will be interesting to watch. Oh, brilliant. This will be interesting. Oh, I like that a little less than I like that, but I liked it. Oh, okay, that wasn't so much for me. Never mind. But what I don't do, and I think this is a key thing, is I don't then lose my damn mind to the point that I ruin it for everybody else. And that is what has happened with a number of shows. But like I said, let's open with this. Me and you, on the Stuff and Things podcast, prior to our, 2.0 relaunch, we would go episodic with shows and we would talk movies in detail.
Yes, we would.
And we would talk about a show called The Book of Boba Fett. Now, prior to that, we talked about The Mandalorian.
We did.
Prior to us talking about The Mandalorian, I don't think it touched on Star Wars. I think we did The Mandalorian series, which we came in at season 2. So we did like a season 1 recap. Then we did season 2 episodically, which was incredible TV.
Yep.
And we also then did like our views on the different Star Wars trilogies, etc., etc. So we did a few shows. But prior to doing the Mandalorian show, our audience listening figures for anything sort of Star Wars related, like literally was sort of, I think we had for the Mandalorian season 1 recap about 600 listeners, and prior to that, with different projects, MCU, different things, we were fluctuating in the low thousands, etc. We talked about The Mandalorian, and someone with a big following, I still to this day don't know who it is, shared a clip of one of our ideas and theories. And our audience went from episode 1, which I think was about 2,000 when it went out, to episode 2 being like 22,000, and episode 1 caught up. By the time Mandalorian Season 2 finished, which, as everyone knows, was the Luke episode, we had, I think it was around 40 to 50,000 people listening to every episode. When you have a jump in audience numbers to that degree, the level of interaction jumped to a phenomenal level for us. And then when we started talking about other projects, other things, Marvel, there was great crossover. And we gradually, the show built to where it was, which was phenomenal and wonderful. But the one thing that wasn't wonderful, and the one thing that happened in that moment which shocked us both at the time, and we later learned oh, okay, actually this is kind of par for the course with Star Wars, is the level of hatred that can be directed at you if you even so much as misspeak. And I will now bring this back to the Boba Fett thing, where you pronounced his name incorrectly. That's what it was. You pronounced it incorrectly.
Yeah.
I corrected you in the show. You then thought it would be funny to keep doing it wrong.
I would like to think that is how it was, but unfortunately, I have a dyslexia a little bit, so a lot of the Star Wars names, I look at them and just go, Jesus, come on, give me a chance.
Yeah.
Some of the episodes, like the planet names, that you get a planet name, and I look at this planet and I'm like, yep, I'm going to wait for Sam to say that.
Yeah, smart.
And learn how it's meant to be said. The problem is that if I get something in my head, I find it then very difficult to stop saying it.
Okay.
And so no matter how many times you told me it was Boba or Boba or, no matter how many times you said that, my brain was stuck because I've spent, from being a child, calling him that one name. So therefore, I then spent this entire season telling myself, say it right, Stefan. Say it the right way. And you'd ask me that. I go, oh, yeah. Boba. Ah, Sam, just carry on.
Now, to me, if anything, it's endearing. I don't see the problem with it. We all knew who the hell you were talking about, okay? Now, we had, and I want to try and get this right for historical accuracy, but we had, after episode 1, probably close to 100 emails. All of them titled, "Is he a moron?" or a different version of that. And this is no exaggeration. It varied then from that was it, that was just literally what the statement was, to some people had written what I can only describe as a thesis on why you're a prat for saying the name wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I think I saved you from a lot of it, but I think I said, mate, you just got to read this. What the hell?
Yeah, mate, have you seen this one? This one genuinely believes your mother did what with the pig? Yeah.
Oh, mate, some of it, yeah. I mean, just insane.
The only way I can have an IQ that low is if my mum was mating with a camel or something. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean,
where does that come from?
Yeah, I mean, and they really went to town. Now,
yeah.
Initially, both of us kind of laughed at that, like, wow, okay, easy. Like, okay, learned our lesson. Now, I myself then ran into this with the large Wookiee character called Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
I got that wrong. And
I'm glad you got it wrong, because I obviously read that name when I first saw it. I went, the Black Christian? What? That Christian?
That was basically, I got it wrong.
I'm not going to say that.
Now, again, misspoke. Said it wrong. And I thought to myself, now I could edit that out, because I then referenced just the Wookiee the rest of the time, because I clearly realised I don't think I'm getting that right.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I'm going to leave it in. I want to do a little social experiment with myself of like, is Stefan universally hated because he sounds like he's off the only way is Essex? Is it that because I sound like a pirate farmer angel baby, yeah, I put angel in there, that people don't actually hear me, so they just kind of go, yeah, what he said, they don't actually understand me? So I thought, do you know what? It's 0.8 of a second in a 1 hour podcast. Let's see what happens. And I'm not going to say I regret not editing it out, because it gives me, content to discuss now. But
holy cow!
Yeah, but when I then had to, and I'll tell you something else which I find, the thing that made me laugh on this was, I, like anybody, I guess, and I'll be open about this, sometimes suffer with, mental health, having a bad day or whatever. And it just so happened I was having one of those days where I was like, I really don't feel good about myself. Oh, oh, do you know what? We've had like 600 odd emails come in. I need to get answering these, otherwise I'm going to get behind.
No!
I think I was an hour in to reading how terrible I am. So before I went, okay, I should probably stop now.
Yeah, I'm done now. That's enough. Thank you.
I'm in a bad place now. I need to like just, chill out, maybe call someone who doesn't hate me. Hey mum. Oh no, you hate me. Ah, crap. Okay. So it was just this awful thing. And then I get to like the thing that kind of made me laugh though was somehow some people were still so mad at you they made my cock up about you. It's like, oh my God, this show, you can't, like, you're trying to say you know Star Wars and you love Star Wars and you can't even get a damn name right. What is wrong with you, Stefan? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, wait a minute.
This was me. There's no way people are confusing my accent with yours.
No, I purposely didn't say the damn name, just in case.
Yeah. But no, you copped for it. Also, the spelling of your name varied wildly.
Can we not talk about that, because that is a sore subject in my life in general.
Yeah, and there was anger, the number of F's people added seemed to greatly indicate how angry they were, and that was just so wrong. Like calling you thick with a capital F, and me going, huh? Anyway, so our introduction really to the Star Wars fandom as content creators, yeah, because we're content creators. Whatever, no big.
Here we are.
was kind of scary. Was kind of like, oh, good God.
And then,
this is
to follow that up, I upset the studio themselves.
And that is where we move on to part 2 of our issue. Me and you were talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, hello there.
Hello there.
And we made, in one of our many stupid tangents, a joke that I would like to point out, for whatever reason, our audience loved, thought it was hilarious.
They thought
to
it
the
was
point,
great.
To
It
the
all
point
came
to this
from me
day,
making a joke about how I could turn up to one of the Star Wars conventions. Yeah. I've got a Jedi gown, like a dressing gown, Jedi Knight robe dressing gown. I can turn up to a convention in one of those.
Yeah.
Sam casually goes, well, I'd hope you wear more than just that. And I went, God, can you imagine just, hello there? That's it!
Yeah.
That was the joke! That's it!
Yeah, the joke was opening the robe, hello there, and basically flashing.
Do you like my lightsaber? Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not green, because that would mean I need medical attention. Yeah. Or red. Or blue.
Blue.
Yeah. So
Mace Windu with the pink lightsaber. It's fine.
Hey,
let's not.
We're in trouble again. We're in trouble again.
Again. So we had messages from fans who were quite literally writing through tears.
Oh, I can do one better. Somewhere in our email, there is a picture of 2 people who went to Star Wars Expo and are both stood with their robes open and their lightsabers moved around to a provocative location, and the picture is titled "Hello There."
Oh, those are my heroes.
Right, so people got the joke and thought it was funny, and then we had people messaging in like, "Oh my God, I can't hear hello there now."
You ruined hello there for me.
And at the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, there's this amazing moment where he sees Luke and he gets to talk to Luke for the first time, and he walks up and he goes, hello there, and I'm like, oh no, I'm like, oh no, because that's like really great in Star Wars, that's really great, but our show and what we've been doing with hello there, oh no. And then I get like, we've not recorded that final episode yet, and I'm just getting email, message, bombarded, just people going, oh my God, he said hello there, and I was like, he's flashing a child, you can't do that. And I'm like, oh no. And suddenly it became abundantly clear to me why at the start of the Obi-Wan series we had this amazing dialogue with Disney UK about doing a few things in promotions, And by the end of that series, we were blacklisted and not allowed to be part of anything to do with Star Wars ever.
Full stop. There wasn't even a, you can't do this, this, and this. No. Yeah. It was just, you are blacklisted, full stop.
Yeah. You are no longer someone we will ever work with as an influencer / content creator / podcaster. You will not get the secret, wonderful, advanced copies of this. You shall be destined to be hated upon for all eternity.
But they loved us, like literally a week earlier. They loved us.
One joke. That's what it took. One joke. I will say, and I will add to this, that there was one gentleman in particular, and that one gentleman who didn't like the joke at all, then decided he'd do further research and listened to your views that we did on the sequel trilogy. where I, during that, and you'll laugh at this because it's true, during that I was kind of like, this bit wasn't really for me, I don't think. Like, I liked this bit and this bit, and you were just like, it was shit!
It took me 6 years to even bother watching the third one.
And I remember that, and I remember, again, audience reaction was kind of like mixed, where people attacked us a little bit for panning it, others were like, you didn't go in hard enough. And it was just kind of mixed. But yeah, he basically heard the joke, went and listened to that, and then sent me a very colourful email about why I shouldn't ever be allowed to ever talk about anything to do with Star Wars ever again. But as they literally cannot stop us, it just meant that we weren't allowed to play in their sandbox, which was a bit rude. But away from that, the big question that we have to discuss is, does anyone hate Star Wars more than Star Wars fans? And the reason why that is even a question is because project after project that comes out, which is on Disney Plus, gets hatred like you wouldn't believe. Yeah. But the only people watching these projects are, in air quotes, Star Wars fans. Yes. And the reason why you know that is because, you've met people in your life, dated people, I've dated people, and there was a woman I was dating, and I'd what are you into, what do you like? Oh, Star Wars. And she's like, yeah, that's not for me. I am not watching. Star Wars? No, not interested at all. That person has not sat down in front of Disney Plus one night and gone, The Acolyte, an interesting origin story of the galactic. Oh, I'm going to put that on.
Yep.
No, not a chance. Never in a good jillion years has someone who has never liked or watched Star Wars gone, that's my jumping off point. Here we go.
Yeah,
no,
I am married to someone who had never seen a Star Wars film before we got together. I have spent the last 6 years trying to convince her that we should watch some Star Wars, and so far we have managed The Phantom Menace. That's it.
Hey,
We've been married for 4 years this summer.
Careful, because if you get that even slightly wrong, you're dead.
I know, so that's how I looked at the date very quickly. We've been married 4 years this summer.
Yeah.
And we've watched one of the movies. That's it. The online, the shows and stuff, she's like, yeah, great. I've got some stuff I'm going to do on my laptop. You can watch that.
You crack on.
Exactly.
I'm going to sit here on my phone.
Andor didn't come out, and she went, oh my God, the story that leads up to the fourth film I haven't seen. I must watch that.
No, exactly. So the people watching these shows have got to be Star Wars fans. They are being made for the fans. And yet, the level... So let's start with The Acolyte, okay?
Now, I have got a fantastic story I can tell you about people's opinions on The Acolyte.
Mate, you start then. Go with it.
So, The Acolyte has come out, and there's this whole big woke agenda thing that people are going on about. And I see somebody on Twitter, and I cannot remember their name, so I can't even name and shame them if I tried. But they had hundreds of thousands. They were a big kind of content creator, I guess.
Would you say that this creator has a theory?
I'm not sure. So the argument we had was how this show is absolute woke bollocks. George Lucas must be absolutely spinning to see that this is what they have done to his legacy.
Yeah.
Now, my first response was like, I've replied to them. I was like, do you know what? I'm biting. Okay, fine.
Always dangerous.
Always dangerous. I was like, I've watched the first 2 episodes. You have referenced these really big woke moments that George Lucas must hate.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what they are? Because I must have missed them.
Yeah.
What are these massive moments that have made you send out into the big bad web just how woke and shit garbage this is?
Yeah.
Why is it that George Lucas must absolutely hate what Disney is doing to his legacy? What was the moment?
Yeah.
Well, I can't tell you what moment it is. I've not watched this garbage. I refuse to watch it because it's woke bollocks that George Lucas would hate. And I'm like, no, wait a second. Like, hold up. You're telling me that this is definitely woke bollocks, garbage, crap. George Lucas must hate it. And then your next sentence is, I'm refusing to watch it because George Lucas... Are we all forgetting that George Lucas liked a bit of incest here and there? You know, Luke kissed Leia.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
You know, this happened in Star Wars that you all love. Like, these things happened. And
I think, by the way, I really need to step in. I would like to say, for the record, for all of our legal department listening, George Lucas does not like a bit of incest. That was a statement out of context that someone made clip. And I'd like to just put on the record that is not the official view of the Stuff and Thanks podcast.
We may edit those last couple of seconds out.
No! What, my clarification? We're going to edit that.
No, I'm just going hard with it at this point.
Yeah.
But it's like, he was telling hundreds of thousands of people that followed him and millions of people on Twitter, this is woke bollocks garbage. Oh, I've never watched it. I refuse to watch it.
Do you remember when we were doing the show, and I don't know, episode 2 or 3, they'd given all of these influencers, which we weren't a part of, by the way, because they hated us, the first 3 episodes to watch. Yeah, all right? They gave them all the first 3 episodes to watch so they could create content, they could create like a buzz for the show. That is a common thing for studios to do now, something we were going to be a part of, but then...
Made a joke.
Then we weren't allowed. You know, whatever. You know, if you're going to put your lightsaber on your... Anyway. So, we then got these kind of... Just like... So, I think it was episode 3. Episode 3 is about to come out everywhere. And I mean everywhere. And these are people who have got YouTube channels with millions of subscribers are literally saying, this episode jumps the shark. It's woke, and it was everywhere. It was everywhere. You could not escape this level of hatred aimed at this episode. And so I messaged you.
Laugh because we are actually, I like to think, quite impartial. Like, we try to balance out. If we go hard on something, we like to balance out either why it wasn't for us or what we think could have happened and what would have maybe made it better, and then we pick things that we are positive about. Yeah. These people that were trusted by Lucas Studios to give these, they were trusted, have turned around and gone, woke bollocks, don't watch it.
Yeah, they've wrecked it. But do you remember I messaged you like, oh man, I'm really not looking forward to this episode.
Yes.
Because in my mind, it had been like it was so universal, this view. I'm expecting a Jedi to show up and be like, oh, well, my trans parents gave me this rainbow lightsaber, and I'm carrying this rainbow flag for all my trans people, and I'm like,
my cape is rainbow like my lightsaber is.
Yeah, like this must be there must be something so overt and awful that is just the biggest box tick in the universe that this show's going to be terrible, and I'm watching it. And I'm watching it, and I am looking for it. Like, I am, like, eyes peeled, like, somewhere in this episode is going to be something so woke, I'm going to be angry. where are you?
There's going to be a face palm for the ages where
I'm like,
they
where
walk past
you?
a building that has a rainbow flag plastered on the side of it or something. You know.
It just never came. The episode finished, right, and I genuinely waited for an after credit, thinking, clearly there's an after credit where two of these characters are going to have a gay Jedi romance and something's about to happen. Like, what is going to happen?
They're going to clash lightsabers, yeah.
Oh, they're going to hello there the hell out of each other. But no, nothing. So when I then think to myself, well, that means something in these episodes is deemed woke by so many people, and I've not seen it. Now, I don't consider myself that liberal. Am I like, oh wow, have I become so liberal? I'm like, hey, whatever, man. You know, let those lightsabers slap around. Whatever. No, I have got to the point where I've then read the actual reviews or watched a couple of clips, and I'm like, that's what you thought was woke? The fact that these characters have got two mothers? They're a coven of witches. Like, what are you expecting? Oh, we are a coven of witches, and here is the token man.
Here's the rogue guy that we all just lock in a basement, you know.
They are a coven of witches. Coven of witches, and they've got kids, so two of them are the mothers. Like, what? Like, okay, fine, all right, okay, that's bugged you. That's got in your head, right, whatever. All right, I'm going to park that over there. The other thing was there was a creature. I don't know what he was, what race or whatever he was. And this particular creature, one of the characters says, is it he, her, is it it? And one of the other characters turns around and goes, his name's Basil. It's Basil. Like, that's the name. Oh, okay. And that incensed people. Ugh. Why did we have to have gender identity brought into it? Really? Like, it's an alien, dude. I think that was a pretty valid question to ask. Like, hey, what is that?
What the heck is that thing?
Like, I have never met one of those, and it's behaving a bit like a dog, but seems more sentient. Like, well, what is it? Like, what do I call it? Call it Basil, right? Basil it is.
Basil works. Yeah, okay.
And so that was that. That was it. Like, if you genuinely think they were making a statement about gender in that thing, I don't think it was a good statement. Like, I don't think anyone who's watching it going, oh, this is going to speak to me and my... No, it's an alien, basically a dog. It's a tracker, right? So you're telling me, it's like, I'm like, this is going to be my character in Star Wars. Oh, they're giving me this, and yeah, right. So I'm a dog. I'm a tracking dog. That's what you're saying. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, this is to be annoyed about. But those people review bombed it to the point that the Acolyte, which was telling a really interesting story, in my opinion, got cancelled.
Like, I actually really quite enjoyed it.
Mate, the lightsaber fights in it alone were
fantastic.
Best ones in it since probably Phantom Menace or, you know, the early stuff.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Like, absolutely brilliant. And I liked, like, and they were telling and weaving a really interesting story because I said a few
moments
things.
of like lightsabers physically changing colour. You saw how it all worked. You were like, wow.
Yeah. So I will say this: there were a few things in it which didn't seem to make sense in existing canon. But at the same time, I'll say we never gave them chance to finish. Like, we never gave them chance to tell the story. They might have landed that brilliantly. Like, okay, this is why this character says, oh, there's not been Sith for a millennia, and yet he's in this show. Like, how can that guy say that then, and yet he's in this show where it's clearly a Sith? I'm like, well, I've now watched 6 episodes, and not once have they said Sith. Oh, it's a rogue Jedi. They were so convinced at that time that the Sith didn't exist, it didn't even occur to them that it could be a Sith.
Yeah, it was just a Jedi's gone rogue.
Yeah.
Sorted out.
So when you got that guy later on in the council, he's like, oh, the Sith. That was the arrogance. That was the thing that Sidious kept talking about. The arrogance of the Jedi blinded them to what I was doing. So they actually all connected and worked perfectly. But man, they went in on that like you wouldn't believe. Like, oh, that's why it's crap. It makes no sense. Now, the one thing in the show that does happen, which I do think leads a story point that does need to be answered by somebody, is what you said about the lightsaber and the bleeding. Now, that is something they introduced in to someone's rage, their hate, and they're holding the kyber crystal, and the saber turns red. The crystal becomes red because all their anger and their hate funnels into it. And you saw that.
Yeah.
It was an amazing visual.
Yeah.
The issue is, we saw Anakin murder younglings with a perfectly blue lightsaber.
That guy had some serious psychological issues.
Yeah. So does that mean that Anakin, like, was just happily doing that, and it was like, were all those kids bad? Like, oh, I'm not rageful about this. I'm just choppy little children. Da, 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 da. You're all gonna die.
It's the Robo Chicken thing with him just cutting down the flowers, cracks me up every time.
That was so messed up. So messed up.
Go to your happy place, Anakin, and that's why it stayed blue.
Yeah. So he went to his happy place, and that's why it stayed blue. So that does need, like, someone needs to find a way to backsell that if they can. Now, I think you could do it flimsy with, there was always good in him. You know, there was, you know, because he does eventually come back, whatever. So you could flimsy do that. You could possibly do that.
Yeah.
Or you just kind of accept, yeah, we introduced the whole bleeding thing later on, and it's a cool concept, but yeah, you know, really, we should probably go back and remaster those films again and make it go red when he's doing that.
Oh, man, could you imagine, though, if they actually did remaster it and halfway through he, like, slices the child and you look at him and all of a sudden the lightsaber's now red?
Yeah, well, I mean,
you're like, whoa, that'd be a cool visual.
It would be a cool visual, but I do also think there is something incredible about the visual of him when he fights Obi-Wan and it's both blue sabers. Like, there's something about that that's kind of iconic, like this kind of thing. But so that was the one thing with the Acolyte that I did go, that is so cool and I love that. But
why?
Does that mean that Anakin was, like you say, in his happy place, choppy children, la 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 la? Just like, I'm not angry or mad, I'm just murdering younglings. And I'm not mad or angry, I'm just fighting my brother, best friend, mentor. I'm not angry or mad, I'm just choking the love of my life who's carrying my children. It's all cool. I'm in my good place. Yeah. So that did kind of maybe I don't know. I did see one theory though, which I think you could backsell it, which is that lightsaber cracked, it broke, so she was holding a broken saber, and therefore maybe that's why the crystal turned, because in the kind of lore, the Sith hold the crystal from the saber in their hands, and then they put it back in their, like, the mechanism.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how you get away with it. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not smart enough. But anyway, people hated it, and that show got cancelled. And I'm gutted it got cancelled, because I thought they were doing a really good job telling an interesting story in a part of Star Wars that had never been told before. Live action, definitely. It was stuff from novels.
Yeah.
So it did make me ask the question, do you think that Star Wars fans literally like the original trilogy? They liked the prequels a little bit, but only now. Like, they didn't when they came out.
I mean, Christ, Hayden Christensen got so much hate for those 3 movies. And now he's, like, worshipped. And him coming back at that Star Wars convention, the crowd went crazy. And it was like...
And he was tearful, man.
Yeah,
like, he was
because
really
he's used to having
wow.
so much shit for it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the fans love him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's how it should have always been.
That is how it should have always been. But it is interesting that that's how that's gone, as those people have grown up, I guess. But I do wonder, because I think I said to you, like, maybe in 10, 20 years, the sequel trilogy, there will be people who love those films as adults then, and it just wasn't our time. Do you know what I mean? Like, we watched them and were just like, Doesn't work. Okay, I know. I know your views on that.
Those sequel trilogy will never be classified as cinematic masterpieces. No.
Okay. Okay. All right. We're not going to go there. We're not going to
go there because if we start getting on to how Luke went from being this badass Jedi to this crippled old man who hates the world, not going to go there.
Hates the galaxy, man, not just the world.
He hates everything.
Yeah, he hates
This is meant to be Luke. Come on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. As I'm getting older, I get it.
Yeah. Give me another 10 years. I'll be like, these films are amazing.
Yeah, in another 10 years, I get it. Yeah, I just want to isolate myself on a planet with no one else around and die in peace. Like, I've had enough. I always like that meme about Yoda, which is only when you've had kids do you fully understand that Yoda basically, when Luke was asking him questions, just decided, screw it, I'm going to die.
He was like, thousands of years old, and then a kid turned up to ask him questions, and he went, no, tap out.
Yeah, tap out, I've had enough. I've had this kid around me for a few days, and I'm done.
No, I'm out of here.
It's only a parent of toddlers can fully grasp that works. So the whole thing about do Star Wars fans hate Star Wars is a weird thing, because if you look at it the way Star Wars fans attacked The Acolyte and destroyed it as a show, if you look at the way Skeleton Crew was absolutely review bombed to hell, and again, there's no one watching Skeleton Crew that isn't a Star Wars fan. There's no one, I mean, possibly, some people might have put their kids in front of it like, oh, this is a kid's show, put it on. But I guarantee you most of that, though, was adults thinking, I could get my kid into Star Wars here. If you are a Star Wars fan. So to see that show get review bombed to the point that they're saying, yeah, we're probably not going to make a second season of that now either, is just weird. And Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, they planned 2 seasons of that. It's only ever going to be 1 now because that got destroyed because Boba Fett wasn't this badass bounty hunter. Oh, we wanted him doing this and he was just trying to make peace all the time. And that, it's called character development. The guy is in the films for, I think, a total, 8 minutes or something. And
this was what I absolutely love. People have made this entire canon about what this character should be. Yeah. From less than 12 minutes of footage.
Yeah. And then you've got him showing up, being a badass in The Mandalorian, and then the continuation of that story is him trying to be a big mafia boss on Tatooine, and at the end of it being like, do you know what? This is more trouble than it's worth. I'm just going to get in my ship, go back to bounty hunting because, this is stupid. I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
And you're like, so season 2 would have been everything that everyone wanted. He's got a crew, they're going to do adventures week to week. No, we just don't like it. Give us Mando. That's all we want. We want Grogu.
And that does seem to be the kind of general thing of, I just want Mando and Grogu. That's it.
And so this brings me to the last thing. Season 3 of The Mandalorian, largely, quite robustly panned by the same people who loved seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I just look at these things and I'm like, okay, I can look at this and go, seasons 1 and 2 of this show, if I want to be really critical, if I want to put myself in this critical mindset, it's a little bit formulaic. The show literally was, I have arrived. I need this. Oh, you will give me that, but only if I do this first. I'll go do that then. I've done that. Thank you for the critical piece of information I needed to take me to the next episode. Next episode. Hi, I need this. Oh, you need me to do a job first? Okay. That was it. Literally, that was the formula for seasons 1 and 2.
Every episode was point A to point B, but we never actually got to point C.
No, ever. That was next week. And then you started at point A again and you repeated it. But it was great. I'm not moaning. So when you get to season 3 and they're like, okay, so we're going to expand this now and we're going to try and tell this bigger story about Mandalore and all the Mandalorians, not just the Mandalorian, the individual Din Djarin. We are creating a larger thing. Everyone's like, no, I want him to arrive. I want him to have a crappy mission. I want him and Grogu to do something cute. And then they leave. We do not have greater storytelling with more characters and more depth. It's like they like what they like. And rather than just being like, oh yeah, I didn't enjoy that as much. I mean, it was okay. Or rather, oh, that wasn't for me. It's, I like this, so anything that isn't this, I will hate. It's just so mad.
It doesn't make sense, does it? It really doesn't. Like, our last episode of the podcast, we were talking about the MCU.
Yeah, last week, yeah.
We were saying, last month, time, you know. We were discussing that, and we were saying, oh, not everything's for everyone.
Yeah.
We've watched, the people that listen to the original version 1 of Stuff and Things knows we talked about all of the stuff Walking Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was stuff there that was definitely not aimed for us.
No.
There was some stuff there that was just crap. There was some stuff that was amazing. You know, that is how TV shows and cinematic universes, television universes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's how it works.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everything is a business.
Yeah.
So therefore, to run a business, you have to make money.
Yep.
For Star Wars fans, for Star Wars to make money, guess what? Those first films came out how many years ago now?
You're talking about the original trilogy?
The original trilogy.
77, 83, and 86, I think, or 85.
Okay, so let's say 77. So that was 50 odd years ago almost?
Yeah.
So if someone was in their 20s and watched that first movie,
yeah,
they're now in their 70s. They're probably not that bothered by the Acolyte.
No.
You know, so their fans, they need to keep creating new content to keep getting new fans.
Oh, mate, I think you've stumbled across something there. What a miraculous thing you've suggested.
Yeah, you need to make new content to make new fans.
Oh, weird. I had no idea. I'm going to write that down.
Exactly. You know what I mean? How does that
That's
work?
good.
It's almost like how we've gone from Stuff and Things to Stuff and Things 2.0.
Oh.
Things adapt, things change, you grow with the times. And it's like the Star Wars fans that are there are like, no, how dare you introduce new people to my thing?
Yeah.
Like, this is my thing. I liked episodes 4, 5 and 6. Everything else doesn't exist. This is my thing.
Yeah.
You cannot have my thing. You cannot play with my things. Hello there.
I knew that was coming. This isn't going to help us win back any friends, is it?
But I'm trying to be good to them and say, you know, you are creating new content, which is good content.
Yeah.
And you are trying to bring in new fans so that you can continue to make new content. Because realistically, they're under the Disney Plus umbrella.
Yep.
As we said in our last podcast, Disney are not a charity.
No.
If you are not making them money, they are not going to spend money.
No.
If your TV shows and your movies, etc., are not successful and popular, say goodbye to that content.
Yeah. 100%.
Just ask fans of Willow.
Yeah, now that's an amazing point, because Willow, the TV series, got so criticised, so panned, Disney deleted it.
It has gone. You can't even go back to watch it to find out, was it really that bad? It's gone. Gone.
And the reason why they make that decision is because they can then write that off as a tax write-off, and they don't ever have to pay any of the actors ever again in a really fucked up, horrible thing. So that is what will happen.
You keep slagging off the Acolyte, and you keep slagging off the Ahsoka series, and people keep slagging it all off. Well, guess what? Disney are going to go, this ain't working anymore. It's gone.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, it ain't coming back. And all of a sudden, you're going to have Star Wars fans that are then sitting there going, oh, it's not fair. They keep making more Marvel stuff. They don't make anything else for us Star Wars fans, do they?
Mate, and that's you're exactly right. You've hit the nail on the head. They are trying to talk about different areas of the galaxy and different parts of it, different storytelling things, and it's being largely group panned by people without anyone really giving it a chance. And what makes it worse is these are the people that surely must realise that sometimes stuff has to breathe a while. Like the prequel trilogies, hated. People hated it, hated the actors. Look at the poor guy who played Jar Jar Binks. Like
that poor dude.
That guy was suicidal. Terrible what happened. You now have him loved, and people. He got to do the appearance in one of the shows. I can't think which one it was now. I think it was Mandalorian season 2.
Yes, he's
a Jedi.
He's the one that saves him. Yeah.
Yeah. He Beck. He was playing. This is incredible. And people loved it, and they loved him. But at the time, they hated him and hated it. Allow these things, look at it and go, oh, okay, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't like it. Then come back to it. Because, I rewatched The Acolyte recently, just because, my memory of it was I enjoyed that, but everyone else really hated it. Maybe I'll watch it again, and, yeah, I still loved it. I'm gutted we're not getting more of that. That story was interesting. That story was going somewhere, and they also were.
I think one of the biggest problems is for these at the moment.
Yeah.
Is when you can now monetize your social media content.
Oh, mate, absolutely, yeah. That's a perfect thing to talk about, because we we as a podcast on a number of occasions have had people come to us about doing sponsorships. And one of the things a lot of them then say is okay, but we need you to get X amount of media impressions. We need you to do this, to do this, to this, to earn X amount of money. And I've always been very nah, that's not us. We give our honest views, our honest opinions, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But that's how we work.
And they tell us.
I am not. Yeah, don't they? But I am not about to do, which is what I think you're saying a lot of people do, and I can't speak with 100% because I don't know these people, but it certainly feels that way, is that they know they can rage bait and get massive interaction by doing that, and that earns them money. There's a YouTube guy who I'm not going to name, so I don't like him at all, and I don't want to justify him. He's got nearly 3 million subscribers, and he originally just made really good lore-based content on Star Wars. Talking about the novels and what was canon and what wasn't once Disney bought it. And as things changed in that respect, he'd add greater context to things. Then out of nowhere, suddenly became a shock jock, kind of everything's over the top, this is crap, woke, he says that. His follower count has gone down, but his interactions and views have gone through the roof. Because people share it. People share, look what this guy said now, look what look at this. And you're right, he has monetized that anger. A great example away from TV and cinema that me and you both know as a sporting analogy for everyone is Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah.
And there's a football club in England called Arsenal, and Arsenal were winning things on a regular basis, and they had a fan channel created called Arsenal Fan TV who would go to the games, interview people, do stuff, and after a game they'd interview people and they'd post it online, all the fan reactions. When Arsenal then had a bad few years where they weren't winning stuff and they were losing silly games on a regular basis, their channel exploded. But not because Arsenal fans were watching it, because every other club's fan base thought it was hilarious watching them have a meltdown. So those people behind that channel are very well off now because the club they support and love were doing crap. They literally profited from the misfortune of
they realised very quickly what they could do.
Yeah.
And boy, did they act on it.
Oh, massively, because when you used to see the clips they put out, they wouldn't put out a guy going, yeah, we lost today, but I saw some green shoot, there was some really good stuff in amongst it. I'm disappointed we lost, but no. They are putting out the people having meltdowns.
Yeah.
The guys tears in their eyes, veins popping out their necks, like, we're rubbish, we're gonna lose every game forever, we need to sack everyone. And of course, me and you, like as a rival football fan, like, click like, that's my jam, baby. But it like entered the zeitgeist, didn't it? It entered like a kind of, Arsenal lost today, well, Arsenal fan TV and chill tonight, baby. We're gonna love this.
That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and it became a thing in football, and they made a fortune out of it. They must have almost got to a point where they'd lose and think cha-ching. And that's weird. Like that's weird. And so that to me again is like in Star Wars. They almost watch stuff looking for things they can rage about to make money. And that's a weird, that's not fandom. That's not being a fan of something. It's just weird. Weird. Yeah. Yeah. So the question is, does anyone hate Star Wars more than Star Wars fans? I actually think no. I think Star Wars fans hate Star Wars content because people who don't like Star Wars aren't watching it. It's like, it's not for them. What about you?
I completely agree on your thing. Is no one can hate Star Wars more than a Star Wars fan because a Star Wars fan is the only person watching it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and that is kind of the be all and end all of it, really, isn't it? Like, if you're not a Star Wars fan, you are not watching The Acolyte or Mandalorian.
So look, that is our show. I mean, it is mad, and I hope people have had a laugh, and I hope no one's gonna go crazy at us. I mean, someone will, but I hope that
I'm going to reactivate my email account in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I'm going to reactivate my email. Maybe. Yeah. And that email address is sam@stuffandthangspodcast.com. You can get in touch with us via our socials. The Facebook page is pretty active. You can go via Instagram. You can go via Blue Sky. We are not on that other app. You can also get in touch via the website, via our contact form. I know plenty of people in the USA and Canada especially use the Pandora app, and that has a contact in there which people love to use, so keep using that. That's fine. You can also chat to us directly on all things, including Star Wars and any other subject you like, via our Discord. The link to that is in the podcast description and is in every week's podcast description. You can always find it. So, that is that. So, that is our show. That is the question. Next week, we will be exploring a subject titled The Streaming Wars. Which, again, you can kind of tie that to Star Wars a little bit. Like, begun, the streaming wars have, in my best Yoda, which is nothing like Yoda. But, yeah, we're going to be discussing that next week, which is basically Netflix were kind of the be-all and end-all. And then we've got this explosion of options that are available and how these companies now are kind of, in my view, kind of screwing us a little bit, because it's like, yeah, pay for this. Oh, there's going to be adverts as well.
When did that become a thing? So
that's going to be an interesting conversation. We're also going to talk about the Netflix Disney war, which is a fun thing to get into. But that is next week's show called The Streaming Wars. I hope you'll join us for that. Until next week, it's goodbye from me, and I'm going to leave you with Stefan with this week's final thought.
There is an ancient myth in Japan. If you are not asleep at night, it's because you are awake.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.